As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, YouTube. How are you guys doing today? I am doing well. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, Coffee Clubbers. I see somebody was in there saying I'm running late this morning. I have been up. I've been tossing and turning since 2 a.m. So I woke up at 2 a.m., went back to sleep, woke up at 4 a.m., went back to sleep, woke up at 6 a.m., and got my butt up out of bed. So had to get up, had to get some coffee. Yes. We are not the coffee club without the coffee. So anyways, good morning all. I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning. I see a lot of people already jumping in. More people will be coming in as we get started this morning. Hello, Miss Jones. Go Hogs. Nice to see you. Crystal. Nancy, Patricia, you're up with me nice and early this morning. Good morning, love. Patricia, she does a lot of drawings and things like that. She sends me some stuff, and they're really nice. I love them. I love her work. And she was showing me. I won't spread the secret. She was showing me some stuff. Hold on, I'm gonna grab this stuff. I always have everything. Oh, don't fall. Some of the stuff always at hand. So, Patricia, thank you. She does some of the cutest stuff, right? I love it. So she always sends me some cute things. It's always nice to hear from her, and she's one of my fans. I love her. I love her to death, Sherry. I love Sherry to death. So I don't think she's in here this morning quite yet. Hope 2019. Good morning, Kathy, Sage, Radmilla, I hope I say that right, not butchering it up. Mel, Irish Rainbow, love it. I love the name. Some of these names that come in here are very clever. Pam's Opinion, love that. Sunshine, nice to see you. Sandy Beaches, and I think that's it so far. That's chatting in here. Good morning, all. I hope you guys are having a beautiful Monday morning. It's a manic Monday for me. I talked to my best friend. I don't get to see my friends very much anymore. I'm traveling all over the country. I don't really get to see my mom. My mom's the best person in my world. I don't get to see my mom as much. And my best friend, she's my best friend. She's another wonderful person that I have in my world. And so she calls me last night. She's a little melancholy, I don't want to put her business too far out there, but over the last few years, she lost her husband, and then I started traveling around the world. So I was with her for a little bit for the first year after her husband had passed away, which was one of my best friends. And then his best friend kind of just recently passed away. His other best friend just passed away. So she's in a melancholy mood. She's just kind of down, and she calls me, and I can hear it in her voice. So this live, as my last few lives have been, will be short because I'm going to go over and hang out with her. She needs her friend, and I need to be a friend to her. So that's what I'm planning on doing today, is go hang out with my friend and show some love and support and take her mind off, all this, bleh, everybody needs a friend like that. I wish I could spend more time with her. And when things start slowing down, I will, after this, I'll be out of town next week for a few days. Even my aunt, she lives in Mayaca City, and she's like, I haven't seen you since 2001. I hope you can find some time in 2 days to come out and see me. It's just the drive out there. It's just, I love my aunt, but I need to go start putting some family first. So I have to start making a schedule and making sure that the important people in my life know that they're the important people in my life. So we will see how all that works out. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this Monday. We've been talking about a few things here and a few things there, but there are some, important topics that we haven't talked about. Like Lily Peters is going to be, we need to talk about her. What's the coal? There's certain, I find, like, even in like Harmony Montgomery, we talked about this. Harmony Montgomery, Serenity McKinney, Summer Wells. Now we have, Lily Peters. And, three of the girls have a lot in common. It's almost like a broken record with their stories, almost, And then you have Lily Peters, but there's still some commonality between her and Summer Wells. And we're going to be discussing that. What is the commonality between, what happened with Lily Peters, what happened in that case. I know that that is being talked about across YouTube. It's not that I'm late to the game. It's I haven't been live. I've gone live just a little bit. And that's the sad part is I've been so busy. I haven't even been able to go live, but I've been trying to make sure that you guys have some content, new and fresh content uploaded, which I've been doing. So it's, you guys haven't been just not seeing me. You just haven't seen me, my face, you haven't been able to speak to me. So here I am, guys. Here I am. Don't forget to go out there and, push that like button on this video stream. That really does help this channel grow. We are growing leaps and bounds. And thank you all. Thank you all for the love and support you're providing this channel through the likes, shares, and comments. And if you guys have noticed, even the hateful comments have died down, so much so because people are getting tired of the BS being peddled about me. They're moving their targets to other people, and I hope that continues because I'm not a bad person and I do a lot of good work. We are scheduling I know I've been talking about this. I'm still going to push this because it is part of what we do. We are scheduling the candlelight vigil in front of Hawkins County Sheriff on June 15th. I know there are some things breaking off in the case of Summer Wells, and we're going to dive into those shortly. But whether or not there are any arrests or no arrests in this case on June 15th, that candlelight vigil still goes forward because, again, it's not about anything but Summer Wells and honoring her memory and honoring her sacrifice. So if anybody out there in the YouTube world, creators, their followers, anybody that's part of Summer's army, that's truly part of Summer's army, please, if you have the means of getting to Hawkins County on June 15th, I believe we're going to be doing it from 7 to 9. I was saying that the car convoy would be after the candlelight vigil, but I'm wondering if it should be us meeting at a specific place, doing the car convoy or caravan, down Beach Creek and Ben Hill Road to the sheriff's office. Again, not sure how that's going to work out or how that is going to look, but we are still in the process of trying to figure out, what we want to do, how it's all going to be coordinated. It's not like that everything needs to be set in stone right at this moment because it's not going to be for at least another 30 to 45 days before it's done. So we have plenty of time to get all the minor details in place. All I'm doing is throwing that out there for the people that want to come can now, tell their work that they need the day off, coordinate if they're going to bring several people, caravan yourself, get a few friends and family members to come with you and you guys all carpool together. This is the time that you guys can put this on your calendar, start making plans so we can really be impactful for this event. And it is an event. It's going to be a candlelight vigil in her honor. And if her mother and grandmother would like to attend, again, has nothing to do with our personal petty issues. This is a respectful event, and we're inviting them to come out and show their respect and honor for their granddaughter and daughter. This is not going to be where they are going to be questioned, attacked, or anything like that. And as a matter of fact, I am telling everybody right now, no matter how you feel about them, if they do show up, you stand down and let them honor and be a part of this event. This is not about us, it's about Summer. And quite frankly, I would prefer them actually showing that they give a damn about that baby girl, quite frankly. So everybody leave them alone if they do show up. I mean, it's just that simple. This is not about us. It's not about our petty squabbles. It is about a 6-year-old girl that went missing when she was 5 years old and has not been seen from since. So we've got to show love and we got to show respect for the sake of Summer Wells. So if this is something that is, compelling you to come, please come. We need all people. I would love nothing more than to fill that parking lot up with a bunch of people with candles, singing or standing there in silence, just in solidarity and unity for a child that went missing and that has captured the hearts of many people around the world. So I've heard that on many shows that people aren't getting the notifications, many other podcasts, people aren't getting the notifications for the shows. So if you guys are not getting your notifications this morning, please be sure to go out, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and make sure you check the bell to receive all notifications, because I have been pumping some stuff out in my community tab. So you guys want that bell on for all, because as you know, I do try to get out, whether I can come live or not, I do try to get out, breaking news. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that I hear about, and I just pump it out through that community tab so you guys can be aware of what's going on. It might be in your neighborhood. It might not be in your neighborhood. And we want to make sure that you guys are getting all this information. To start out this morning, it's going to be a little bit, I wanted to show you guys the artwork. I don't know if I had an opportunity to show you guys this earlier. I know we discussed the new product line. I actually like it. It's so simple, but I do like it. And again, I want to throw a shout out to White Rabbit. I was in her show and, she was going on about how people, basically call her a clout chaser. First of all, actually, let me just do this right now. I want to tell you guys the definition of what clout chaser means, because people are using it wrong. Like they're not even using it correctly. It's a person who attempts to gain political or social power and influences, especially through associations or conflicts with public figures. The majority of people that are on this YouTube are not public figures. They're private citizens. So unless somebody is actually trying to, cozy up with, say, Johnny Depp, they're not a freaking clout chaser, right? I have associations. With many political figures. You don't see me coming out here to attempt to gain any political capital because of the political figures I have. I create that myself. So that doesn't make me a clout chaser, folks. It doesn't make me a clout chaser because I create it myself, and I create it all by myself, not through the associations that I have. But people are like, oh, they're a clout chaser, or White Rabbit's a clout chaser. What person is she trying to cozy up to gain notoriety? What public figure is she trying to get notoriety from her association with? So folks, you guys are using the ones that are, trying to say, oh, she's get the definition right first and foremost. You guys are foolish. So if you guys don't know what clout chaser means, I know it sounds great to say, but you're using it wrong. You're using it wrong, and you're using it against the wrong people. It's just stupid. So anyways, we're having this conversation in White Rabbit's channel. And she's like, I just need to make a shirt that says Cloud Chaser. And I'm thinking, that doesn't sound like a bad idea, right? It doesn't sound like a bad idea. So I pop over here and I'm like, what colors do I want to use? And I came up with a Bullhorn Betty Cloud Chaser. A new line. Let me go over here. Where's my home? Where's my store? I need to find my listing. I'm going to show you guys this. Okay, Control B. Actually, I thought it was a little creative. It's not like, some of these people have great artwork and stuff like that. Let me pull this up. Here's my biker shorts. There they are. Let me see if I can go down. So this is what you get when you go in. And then there's all the products. There's all the products down here. And then it goes into my regular line. So my Cloud Chaser line's right there. Let me just pull one of these up that actually you can see the logo on. There you go. For all those out there in YouTube world, if you guys want to get your own Bullhorn Betty Clout Chaser shirt, support the Clout Chasers of YouTube. There you go. There you go. My Say What line will be coming out. I still have to work on that. We're going to have a whole kitty line coming out if you guys would like that. Just to give another dig to the violence that are perpetrated by Kitty and his Mafia clan on YouTube. You say no to violence. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to you, Dolly. If you're watching, we're going to get to you. I'll get this off. Still got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're already 20 minutes in. Look at that. Good morning. I see a couple other people that came into the chat since I started. Good morning, all. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Karen, Samuel, Pebbles. Why did I say Pebbles? Good morning, Pebbles. Sherry Ann. Shiva. I hope I say your name right. Soupy Campbell. Nice to see you. Anissa. Good morning, babe. Shake. Mia May. Nice to see you all. Jody, nice to see you. Jessica White, good morning. Good morning, all. I hope everybody is doing well this morning. So, we're talking about, I just want to go into a little bit about Lily Peters' case, and then we're going to go ahead and dovetail on over to Summer Wells and the new and stuff, the stuff that's going on in her case and what we know, what we don't know, taking my personal observations. LS, good morning. Good morning. I need to leave. They need to leave Dolly alone. He's been around a lot longer than Benny Crew. Yeah, Miss Jones. We're going to go into that. We're going to go into a lot of stuff here. And we're going to discuss, this violence, this threatening stuff on YouTube that is going to be and have to be condemned. This has to be condemned by, we are the product, right? YouTube commentators, YouTube creators, are the product. You guys are the customer. And there is nothing that teaches a company that somebody doesn't like the product unless you stop using it, stop purchasing it, or start returning it, right? When they start getting hit with that financial burden of people not liking their product, then maybe they will start changing the product in which they are selling, right? This idea that YouTube, all these people that have monetized channels talking about other creators being grifters and doing this for money on their monetized channel is a hypocrite. Because if you're going to talk about how you're not making money on YouTube, remove your monetization and remove all your Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal information from your channel and remove your wish list from your channel. And then you can have the floor to talk about how everybody else is making money off this or that, okay? But when you are a monetized channel with a Venmo or Cash App and some having a wish list talking about another creator doing the same thing, it's called being a hypocrite. So stop the hypocrisy on YouTube. If you're making money, don't expect other people not to make money. It's just as simple as that. People know when I started this channel, I have been upfront and honest that this is a viewer sponsored channel. Everything that goes into this channel, I don't use anything that is not derived from this channel. So if I need wading gear and I can't get it from this channel, guess what? I just don't go into those areas that require wading gear. I have wading gear now. Why? Because somebody sponsored that for this thing. So the only thing that's being hindered by these creators and people not supporting the products that are needed to do the job, they're just not getting those views. They're just not, I can't go, I'm not going to go out there and do that. If you guys want to see it, that's just the name of the game, right? And people are like, well, you got the computer and this, that, and the other. And first of all, I said, I don't think you would want people all up in your finances like that, But what does it matter what I get on my channel, what my followers do for me, or how much money I make? How is that any of your business? Like, who the hell wants people in their financial business so much so? Like, that's stupid to me. If you don't want me up in your finances, get the hell out of mine, right? And furthermore, the reason why somebody sponsored this computer is because they wanted to see me. They were sick of seeing me drop all the time. So if they like this channel and they wanted to support this channel, guess what? They help provide a better viewing experience, not only for themselves, but for the rest of the world. And that's okay. I know they are. Absolutely, without a doubt. Because, some of them have been on here for years and are barely scratching 10,000 viewers. I've been on here for 5 months and we keep growing and growing and growing. And I have to think that's because we don't feed into all of that. Do we get a little drama? We always try to say this is a drama-free zone, but at the end of the day, we deal with drama each and every day. We're dealing with these cases. These cases are fueled by drama. They're fueled by emotion. And that's what really happens. Check your email, picture of you with Don Jr. Okay, thank you, Pink Butterfly. And that's another thing, like on the glare and everything, everybody thinks like they're attacking Dolly. And I've noticed this and they did this to me as a, and I try to keep the politics. I let you guys know I go to political things, but there's no politics in true crime. Like I try to keep that out of this channel. I am a political person. I travel the state of Florida for politics. People, I just don't bring my ideology to the true crime community because I want this to be a space where everybody, no matter what because politics don't matter in crime. Do you think, is it going to stop me from going and looking for somebody if they're on the opposite side of what I believe in? Of course not. I don't care. I'm not that. I'm invested in my own community, but I'm not invested when it comes to true crime. But this is what I see happen. And this is what makes me believe that all this hate and manifestation is political. And we have to say no to that, because if it's this way for me, it could be that way for you tomorrow. And it has to be denounced. So some of these people think that just because they throw Trump or some other politician and say, oh, well, look at them, they were there, that people are automatically going to hate them because of their political. That's not true. I'm finding that that's not true. People come here to hear information about cases. They could give a damn what I do in my time off this computer, right? They could give a damn no matter what side of the aisle they believe on. But see, that's the thing. They think if they can identify us politically, that we will have this massive amount of hate from the opposition, because that's the way it's been for so many years, right? And we're finding that that's not true. You can say that, and people are like, okay, so what? That's their business, right? But they are so used to being able to identify these people like me and say, but you support Trump 2024, to kind of out me so that other people that don't support Trump will come and attack me. But we're finding out that's not the case, because they realize I try to keep that off here. The only reason why I'm bringing that up is because it dovetails into the conversation with Dolly. And this whole thing where Benny Keys and the Glare were on the Glare show just talking mad crap about Dolly, which they used to do about me. And I'm sure it's going to come back around to me. Nobody cares. And it's, again, coming back to the product. What product is being sold? If you guys don't like the product being sold, quit watching it. Quit supporting it. You know, every time you go in there and you see that ad, you're supporting that garbage. I just want to let you know. And I know we all like to see, we all like to pull back the um, you know, the curtain and see what's, don't. Who cares? If it's not the garbage that you want to watch, if it's garbage that you feel, if you think they're bullying, if you think they're, quit watching them. Don't support the channel. Don't even go in there and comment some nasty comment. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So, that's my spiel on that. There are a lot of people out here that are just, they're not right upstairs. They think they are, and that's what's so scary. They think that they are, but they're not right upstairs. And you guys got to quit supporting that, because you're supporting, they need to go to counseling or something. When you make 50 or 60 videos about somebody that's never even mentioned your name out of their mouth, there's something wrong with you. Seriously wrong with you. And I just want to say that. And I really do believe it's a mental illness. I really do. And I hope they get help. I really do. Because those people have got to be the most miserable, mentally miserable people that they can't move on. They're so asphyxiated that they can't move on. And it was funny because, I had people show up at my house. And now I'm hearing this stuff. I was just watching Dolly. I haven't finished his thing. So that's what sparked this. I was just watching his stuff from last night. And hearing that people are making violent threats toward him, that's concerning, because people showed up at my house. People had showed up at my house. They weren't protesting. They were sneaking around here at night. Like, I have a loaded gun in my home, right? This is the state of Florida. I can shoot you when you're on my property. Like, that's some dangerous stuff. Like, it is insane to me what people are willing to do. But there's a lot of unstable people on YouTube, and that's what people don't understand. So it's very concerning when you start hearing other creators talking, especially when they're in the true crime and they're supposed to be denouncing violence and this kind of conduct, and yet they're perpetrators of it. They're the perpetrators of crimes. They're actually physically threatening somebody to do bodily harm. How can you advocate and oppose people how can you advocate against crime and against violence, and then go out there and threaten the stuff that you are actively opposing? That is the problem I have. So that means, one, you are not true to your word. You're not really in this true crime to make change and to help, but rather for the money that you're acquiring. And I can say that because I truly am. I make money off this. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. This is a 100% viewer sponsored channel. I can't sit here and do this work for free. It's just how it is. But I'm honest about it. And then you've got somebody like Benny Keys that wants to bring, he could be a very good creator if he so chose. He's choosing not to be. And he's choosing to be everything he talks about. Because you can't be against violence and promote violence. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So what does Lily Peters and Summer Wells have in common? It's their lifestyle. That's what they have in common. It's their lifestyle. The parents on drugs and alcohol, their lifestyle contributing to their demise, those children's demise. That's what they have in common. That's what Harmony Montgomery had in common, Serenity McKinney had in common, Summer Wells has in common, and now Lily Peters. And there's many, many children across this country that we haven't even heard about. So Lily Peters is a 10-year-old child that was murdered and SA'd by her 14-year-old cousin. She went over to her aunt's house to hang out, and her 14-year-old cousin went to walk her home and basically pushed her into the woods, beat her up, and, did some really horrible things to her after she died sexually. So it was a very bad situation. But the nuance is that her 14-year-old male cousin, his father, um, is in prison or was in prison. He's now in a halfway house for crimes against children. So he now has to register. I'm trying to be very vague. I know you guys are putting the pieces together, but I have to be careful what is said on YouTube because of monetization. So he has to register. Think about what needs to be registered, from state to state and any place you live. He's one of those. And his son has now done the same thing in some cases as his father, but went a step further and actually murdered his cousin. And she was found. But the parents, her parents as well as his parents, have a lot of history of drugs, alcohol, and obviously this kind of behavior. Duty Ron went over this in a couple of his segments, and I had an opportunity. He had Ed, I can't remember Ed's last name, on. It was Duty, Ron, and Ed, and they were on there. And I asked them about their professional opinion. I know I talked about this, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, about how I went on to Duty Ron's channel. And my only question really was, in your professional opinion, do you believe that they're extenuating circumstances? Because I kind of see, being in the legal aspect and going to school for a paralegal, which does all the work of an attorney. So we have to be well educated in these types of things. And I have an AA in paralegal studies, not a BS, but an AA. But I've done enough work that, the BS, it was too expensive, and I wasn't required to have it in order to excel in my career. So long story short, is I understand that there are, what defense attorneys are going to try to bring up. One of those are going to be extenuating circumstances, which may have caused this boy to do these types of things to help, if he's convicted, and help try to lower his sentencing or give him an opportunity to get out at some point and things like that. So I can already almost see that part of this defense is going to be that his father did something to him as a young child because of his father's past and the fact his father has to register, right? So my question to Duty, Ron, and Ed was basically, in your professional opinion, do you think that there are extenuating circumstances where this father did something to his son in the past? Do you think this is a taught behavior, or do you think this is hereditary in nature? And so the response was that this is without a doubt a taught behavior. So he had to have learned this from somebody. He had, and obviously impulse control. I mean, he's a 14-year-old boy. He's probably having some changes in his body that he's not familiar with, and his parents aren't teaching him this stuff because he has a toxic home environment. And obviously a very crazy one with his own father going to jail for doing horrible, despicable things to young children, and being in a halfway house, and being on, having to register. I don't even know if his father's allowed to see him due to I don't know how that works when you're, when you have to register and you're in a halfway house and you're required to stay away from any minors. Does that mean your own children? I don't know. I've never been involved in that. But the bottom line is Summer Wells and Lily all come from alcohol and drug addicted parents. So, and apparently this whole family was like that. It's like even the aunt, there was some, bad things going on over there at the aunt's house. And I think one of the things that concerned me the most is when I was looking at the videos and watching the stuff, wasn't necessarily what we have the maps and stuff of Lily. I've got some clips of Lily. I got some things that I'm going to be preparing a short video on related to Lily and the all the news clippings and segments related to her and the beautiful memorial that was set up for her. Anyways, I'm looking at this, and I was looking at one of these news articles that had came on one of the, I think it was the local a local news station there. In the house that they taped off, it creeped me out. It creeped me out. The house that they taped off was actually the cousin, the 14-year-old cousin that hurt her. And in the door, like the door has the glass, where you, I guess they were trying to cover it up. And it has this skull, this horror type of covering on it. And it freaked me out. I have to say it freaked me out. It's like you felt, I don't know, you felt the evil in that clip, the evil that was coming from that home. And it was a little creepy for me. So, it's just creepy. So anyways, getting back to Summer Wells. Actually, we'll just go dovetail right into get Dolly out of the way. So I was watching Dolly Vision's show. I'm not going to play it. If you guys want to go over there, go over to Dolly Vision's channel and watch it for yourself. It's the one that says Hitman Benny Keys and Savage Live Media is making physical threats against Dolly. You can't be on YouTube saying that you're tired of these children being abused and you're against violence, and then turn around and go advocate for violence by making physical threats to another YouTuber. This has happened to me, right? This has happened to me. Thank God. I mean, literally, like right here, there is a Bradenton police officer. They used to own the duplex that lives literally next to my home. They just sold it. But the police officer is still right there. I'm on a dead end road. You got no place to run. You come down here, monkey effing around. You're not gonna be too happy. That's why people were sneaking around my house at night, right? And now we got video cameras on this house because of that. So we have to protect ourselves on these, being a YouTuber. This idea that we're, it shouldn't be that way, because people should be able to speak their mind, as long as you're not out there. Like, some people are on my thing. I thought you were for freedom of speech. I am for freedom of speech. I am for the First Amendment to the Constitution 100%, right? But there's limitations, right? You can't, when you go past the limitations where you're going from exercising your First Amendment to criminal conduct, okay? I'm also for law and order. So when you go from your First Amendment to criminal conduct, I have a problem with it. Just like this person is threatening physical bodily injury to another YouTuber because they don't like what he says, right? So this is where this stuff has got to stop. This is going too far. Keep your mouth shut related to bodily harm. Another thing is people are out there going past, like if you want to go and expose somebody, go and expose them, right? Couple videos about this person. You got to realize that we're private citizens and not public figures. There's different laws for private citizens as opposed to public figures. That's what people don't know, because people are ignorant in the law, truly ignorant in the law. And they're getting themselves in trouble on YouTube. And we find it time and time again. So when you go from there's a certain creator, I have never mentioned this creator's name out of my mouth. Never once mentioned this creator's name out of my mouth. Do not go out there every day and attack them or try to destroy them. But yet they do that to me. And when I finally have had enough and their conduct is going from First Amendment to criminal conduct, and I'm starting to take my rights back and starting to let them know I will no longer deal with it, they want to cry victim. They want to cry victim. You're not the victim. You are the perpetrator. Quit crying victim and quit being a Karen and going and tattletaling because you created your own mess. Because that's what you did. You created this. I stood back. I let you. But now it's going overboard. Now it's going from, if you were going to expose, did that, right? If that's what you were really talking about, did that. People are no longer paying attention. They're tuning you out. And you won't stop. And now you're doubling down. Now you're doubling down. It's not going to get any easier or better for you because I follow the rules. You are not. And now you're crying about it. So quit crying about it and start following the rules. Enough's enough. If you think I'm going to sit here on my hands and continue to go down this road, you are absolutely wrong. You are not the victim. I have never said one thing nasty out of my mouth about you, out of all the nastiness, and you're trying to convince people that I'm the bad person? Lordy child, move on. Get different content and quit stealing mine. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Now, so you guys should go over there, listen to it. Apparently, I thought it was hilarious. It was funny because last night I was listening to the whole skit because I don't get these things right away. I've been out, I've been busy, despite, what's going on, out there. I just don't watch a lot of YouTube. I'm starting to get others' opinions. And that's what we're going to dive into the next things related to summer, and just hold tight. But so I'm listening to this. So I actually listened to the entire clip that Dolly said about Savage and Benny Keys. I have to be honest with you. I died laughing. I was laughing so hard. It was hilarious. I don't know if I would have wanted to been on the other end of that, but what he was saying was not too far off, and then for Savage, if somebody said something about when I was married, if I went somewhere and somebody said that, and I'd call my husband and say, look, dude, there's shit going around YouTube. I just want to let you know, if you hear this, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Right. But for me to go out there and get so butthurt over it and want to, and be so angry that I want to be physically violent to somebody else, it makes me wonder, why is she so angry about it? Maybe the only time I really get angry about something, if there's some semblance of truth to it. And so, Savage, I'm not beating you up. Please don't come and start attacking me. Lord have mercy. I don't want to get my ass kicked from you. And I damn sure don't want you out my front door because I don't want to shoot you. But I'm not saying the information is correct. What I am saying is you got awfully defensive, right? You got awfully defensive about him joking around about that. And it seemed like you were pretty sensitive about the topic. So sometimes you should probably reserve some of that frustration and anger, because it almost makes, especially the conspiracy theorists out there, right? It almost makes them believe that there is something going on because of how angry you got about that and how quick you were to, to me, it seems like maybe he hit a nerve when he was saying that stuff, and it makes you wonder why. And you saying you've been married for 24 years. I was married for 10 years, and I can tell you there's a stale spot when you're married for so long. So the idea that because you've been married for 24 years means you're not going to be putting your boots under some other man's bed, so to speak, doesn't hold true, because sometimes the longer you've been married, the likelier it is to have a chance of having a one-night stand, right? That it's statistically proven. I'm not saying that's happening in your world. I'm just saying statistically proven. I don't want to spark a fight with you, Savage. I'm just saying maybe just tone it down so it doesn't look like. That's all I'm trying to say, babe. I'm not trying to get into all your business. I personally don't care. I really don't. I don't care one way or another. But I did see Dolly's comments, and I got to tell you, I was laughing so hard. I was watching them last night before I went to bed, and it was so funny. And then I come up this morning, get up this morning, and I'm looking at here, and he's now telling me that they're actually wanting to perpetrate physical violence. So that's guys, keep that crap off YouTube. Don't be threatening other people. Don't be trying to dox their address, because listen, this is the real on that. And let me just break it down to you. If you dox somebody's address on YouTube and one of your fans goes over there and does something to them, you are responsible for that. You are criminal. You will be held criminally liable and civilly liable for any and all damages from that crazy person. You have to realize you do have crazy people that watch you. And you could be criminally charged. Why would you put yourself like I try to stay away from ever putting myself in a position that I could be brought into a criminal case, right? I don't want to be responsible for if I were to say, Dolly lived, I hate Dolly, he needs to be beat up, right? Here's Dolly's address. And one of my people went over there with a bat and put him in a coma, I would be going to jail. I would be going to jail, right? And I wasn't even there. Folks, you got to be smarter than this because the stuff that you're doing will have repercussions if something happens. I am all about preventing that from happening. I don't advocate for violence. I don't advocate for doxing. I don't advocate for cyberbullying. I don't advocate for harassment. And I don't advocate for stealing other people's content without their permission. Dolly's given people permission to take his stuff, make clip stuff out of it, make the funny stuff, whatever. He can. That's his choice, right? So, Dolly, keep your head up. Don't let them bully you. And, something's got to be done. And folks, if you guys are getting tired, and I'm sorry, Benny, that I got to keep throwing you out, but what you're doing is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. Go back to doing the right thing. Go back to being a good person. Get off this thuggery garbage. You're not a mafia member. You're not a thug. You're a wannabe. Go back to doing what you do best. Okay. And quit threatening people because you threatened me. You're lucky you didn't go to jail. Had anything happened to me, I guarantee you would have been prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, criminally as well as civilly. And you need to protect yourself from that. And I really hope you do. I really hope you do, as well as other creators, We do not advocate for violence. So I was on, there it is. I know when I was talking yesterday, I couldn't talk to you, but it says Crime, Crazy, and Critters on the Farm, I believe is the name of this. Let me just see. Yeah, and Critters on the Farm. So this is the one that I was on watching about Candus. Now, there's a commonality with all the people, all the adults on top of the hill at the wells. And it's that they lie. They lie religiously through their teeth. If you want to know if they're lying, their mouth is moving. Don Wells, Candus Wells, Candus Bly, and Candace Harer. Now, I also want to, a shout out to Cam and Allie. They're going through some family stuff. I've got more people in my chat right now than I did. I want to say that we need to have a prayer despite our opposition to one another. I still have love for other YouTubers. Nobody should be in fear of losing their mom or family member that's close to them. So I really like everybody here in the chat to please give their family a prayer. They're going through stuff that's pretty scary that I would not want to go through. And the Bullhorn Betty channel, we pray for you and your family. And, I hope everything works well. Lake Girl, get out. Lake Girl, let me tell you, I don't like you. I don't know who you are. I don't care for you. And I damn sure don't care for you in my channel. So if you're going to be here, you can watch silently or I'm going to block you. I literally don't know who you are and can't stand you. Go take your hate, your negativity, and your foul mouth elsewhere. Get it? Leave her alone because if she's, and yes, he did. Erroneously, Lake Girl, right? He erroneously striked me. And I filled out the paperwork. And let's talk about that paperwork. Let's talk about when you do a counter notification, you're basically saying that you are willing to open up to a lawsuit, that you're willing to go the legal route. So when you give fraudulent information or give an attorney that you have not hired, you're the one abusing the rules of YouTube, not the other way around, Lake Girl. So go back and tell that to your follower. So getting back to Summer Wells, Lake Girl likes to distract because she's a despicable, miserable person and somebody that doesn't belong in this channel. Thank you. Cam, Allie, if you guys see a lot of my people in here are praying for you and your family. So, I just want to let you know that, despite our opposition, I have nothing against Cam and Allie, but we do have opposing viewpoints, and we have had opposing viewpoints on the Summer Wells case for quite some time. But when we were all face to face, we were cordial. Again, got nothing against them. It sounded to me like it was a lot of misunderstandings when we first met them. I didn't know who they were, right? And I didn't even know who their channel was. I now know who they are and who their channel is. I still disagree with how they see this case, period. But, with that being said, we don't want anything bad happening. The real life stuff is, we all have hearts, and nobody wants anything bad to happen to them or their family. And they're going through something. So those that pray, please pray for their family. Please pray for their loved one that is sick. And we definitely want to make sure that they know that they have, on a personal level, the support of Bullhorn Betty, the Coffee Clubbers, and this channel. So getting back to, I can't even remember where I was going to dovetail, but it was something that Cam had said that I found that was incorrect, but I will come back to it when I rethink it. I went on a tangent and lost my train of thought. So I apologize about that. But what is it? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I know her name is Miss Daisy. Crimes, Crazy, and Critters on the Farm. Thank you. They had a great panel, not last night, but the night before last, where Jessica was on there. She had been having conversations with Candus Harer. And I believe she was talking to Candus Harer. And so we have somebody from Candus Bly. Oh, I know what I was going to say about Cam. Sorry. Now I remember where I was going now that I'm getting back into it. I apologize, folks. So he posts in his community tab, I believe, a article of Don Wells and Candus, because everybody's been asking, are they married? We know they had a wedding. We know that they had pulled a marriage certificate. But the problem is I'm not sure that marriage certificate, the notarized copy of the marriage certificate, was ever turned back in. So it's not the fact that we don't, and just for your information, Cam, it's not for the fact that we're not saying that they didn't get married. We're saying they're not lawfully married, right? We're saying that there may be some questions in the legality of their marriage, because yes, just because you pull, there's another step. I mean, you're married to Allie. I was married. I just got a divorce. I was married to my husband. And it wasn't just about pulling the marriage certificate. You literally had to return the marriage certificate notarized by the person that wed you. And that's what makes that marriage concrete in the court of the law. So it's not the fact that I don't believe that they had a wedding. We have photos of their wedding, right? We have photos of that when Summer was really small. We have photos of that. And then, of course, Cam provided the article that they, in the newspaper, that they were getting married. That wasn't what we're seeking. We're seeking proof that they are lawfully currently married. And just because you have a marriage certificate out doesn't mean you're lawfully married. Everybody knows you've got to turn that over. You got to still turn that back in. So I think I appreciate you posting the article about them getting married, but I don't think that's what the people were really concerned with. That wasn't their concern with, it's whether they are currently and lawfully married. Because, just because you pulled out a marriage certificate, and here's where it's going to come into place, because if they're not lawfully married and they didn't make that second step of turning that marriage certificate in, or they're not considered husband and wife under the law, there's no husband and wife privilege when it comes to court. That means they can make them testify against each other, right? They can make them testify against each other. So that's super important. That's what we're trying to find out. I appreciate, Cam, that you posted that article as to that they were getting married, but that's never been the question in my mind. I knew because I had seen the pictures and I had seen that same article a long time ago through our fact finding process. But what we couldn't find is that marriage certificate being turned back in. That's where the problem is. So if you can find that, that would be super helpful for me and probably the rest of the people here. Hey, Pink Phoenix, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see all the additional people that have come into this room. Please don't forget to go out and like this channel and like this page. Please don't keep the Bullhorn Betty channel a secret. We are covering a lot of cases right now. We're kind of on the Summer Wells case. Guys, we're going to be dovetailing over to Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner. You guys know that they were one of a case that we had went out to Moab and did fact finding mission on. I haven't released even an eighth. Okay, I haven't even released an eighth of the content for that trip. And I'm thinking about bringing her Crystal Turner's cousin on, as well as maybe Sean Paul Schulte and Jason Jensen here in the near future, just to talk about this case, just to bring attention back to the Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner case. I feel like it's not out there. We work very hard. Like we've been working to keep Summer's name in the spotlight. And by doing so, it has stopped me from talking about the Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner case, which is super important to this channel. This is one of the, this Gabby Petito and Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner and Brian Laundrie, they all crossed paths. Even though they didn't know each other, they did cross paths. And within 30 days, all four of them would have been dead. That is creepy to me. And so we want to go back into, covering that particular case because it does need some attention. It still has not been solved yet. I'd like to just get an update on the case and see how our team can help with the Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner case. So I will be looking on, doing something like that here in the near future with them. But Candus, and this is when we talk about, Don and Candus throughout this process, they have lied. They played games. We watched it unfold on YouTube throughout the process, before, until Don got arrested. We watched it happen across YouTube. It was pretty frustrating, right? It was really frustrating to see them, poking fun at people when their child was missing. They're sitting home getting drunk, calling, his sister and saying that the FBI took Don when they didn't. And, it's just crazy stuff that was going on in there. And instead of them getting search parties and going out and looking for their daughter, they're playing games with other people and lying to them. And it just didn't make sense. And you wonder why they did that. We don't know why they did that. It doesn't sound normal to me. It doesn't sound like normal behavior of parents that have lost their child and don't know where she is. Their lack of emotion was a little concerning for me, and so we hear this, then we hear the sheriff come out months later and say that they've lawyered up and stopped cooperating. And then we hear from Candus, and Candus basically throws in this new thing where she went and took a nap. Their timeline from the time they got home to the time Summer went missing never lined up, in my opinion, out the gate. But they stuck to a script, even though the small details kept changing from one person to the other. The main points they kept to the script, even though they think that they stayed to the script. The rest of us knows they didn't, because we're listening to all the little tiny changes about their story. The truth is the truth, no matter how many times you say it. The truth for them kept changing. And then we got Candus coming out and saying that she went to sleep. And then we hear on this Crime Crazy and Critters on the Farm, we start hearing this Jessica that's been having conversations with Candus, not even just text message conversations with Candus, but FaceTime conversations with her. So, and I agree with Miss Daisy, like, I guess Ziggy, that's her comment right there. Ziggy apparently was visited by the FBI, and she's turned over the receipts for that. and this idea that you either believe in my world, you either believe what's coming out of somebody's mouth or you don't. If we've got to go and start proving every single thing we say, and you don't hold that same standard to say Brian Inton, to say all these other people, I'm not playing it, right? I'm not playing it. You're not going to put a requirement on me that you don't put on everybody else. I'm not playing those things. You either believe what's coming out of my mouth or you don't, right? We go out there, we work hard. The people that I want, when people see the name Bullhorn Betty, they know that they're getting the information. I tell you when I'm opining. I tell you when it's my opinion. I tell you when it's hearsay. I tell you those things. I tell you when it's my personal viewpoints. So you don't mistaken what's fact from what my opinion is. So I'm not going to sit here and play these games with these other YouTubers. I'm not going to be that one that says, "Oh, I got to prove this." No, I don't. This is what I did. This is what happened. Believe it or don't believe it. Okay. And I love the fact that that's what Miss Daisy is basically telling everybody. Because when I heard Jessica, for those that want to be conspiracy theories and everything like that, go ahead and do that. That's your right to do. You live in a free country. You can do that. I don't care. But when I listen to this Jessica speaking, I don't hear any deception in her voice. And I'm curious for the other people that are out there in YouTube world that do this for a living, that listen to people. I'd like to know, did they hear any deception in Jessica's voice? Because I surely did not. I surely did not hear any deception. She was very matter of fact, very factual. And she talked about this. And the reason why, and maybe I may be partial to this, the reason why I believe it is because it is in line with everything we found out. Our team found out going to the Rogersville area on 2 separate trips. It is exactly what we found out. Some people believe that Summer never made it home. We weren't on that camp. Now we're finding out that she made it home, but never got out of the vehicle, that she was limp when she got there. We also heard that Dawn was sitting on the phone screaming for Candus to take Summer to the hospital, and she didn't because she was drunk. So that means, and now I want you guys to understand, if your child is injured and you fail to get them medical attention, that is like, I don't know what crime that is, but I have to think that's up there with manslaughter. And when there are contributing, extenuating circumstances like you were under the influence, that compounds that crime. Never mind the negligence. So if those things are true, Candus, whether or not she murdered her child, she murdered her child, right? So, there's a lot to be said. So I behoove you guys to go over there. This one is the Summer Wells. I'm not going to play it on here. But this is the Summer Wells special guest. The truth is about to come out, right? Watch that segment. I got a lot of good information out of that. There's always going to be haters in chats when you come out and break news that are going to try to dispute that information. And you've got to figure out for yourself what's true to you and what's not. That's not for other people to decide. That's for you to decide. So, and let me just throw that out there. I do not believe when they said Rose Bly. I mean, I went on here. I had to turn the channel when Miss Daisy had said Rose Bly was alive, because I know darn well that she's not. I know darn well she's not, because that lady would never have left her children. And that's why I know that Rose Bly is dead. Whether or not she found somebody that looked like her or not, many people can attest that I spoke to, that I said when we were watching that clip, that I do not believe Rose Bly is dead. I had to change the channel because I could not watch it, right? So I'm very, so that's the way if I believe she's being truthful, I tell you. If I believe she's being, that the information is incorrect, I tell you. So I do believe that this information is more in line with what we found out than 90% of the other channels talking about what happened to Summer Wells. And then we have the next one that's coming up is her newest one. It just happened 8 hours ago, and it's about Summer Wells' grandma playing games. I haven't even began. As you can see, there's a little red line here. That's as far as I've gotten in this channel. So I've got a long ways to go about this. But is Candus playing games? If I know anything about that family, I would say yes. She is playing games. They have all played games from the beginning. And if Grandis lied to the FBI, that is a criminal, that is a crime. So has she come out yet? Has she not come out yet? We don't know. I'm going to finish watching both of these skits from uh Miss Daisy. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of your channel. It's too long. Crime Crazies and Critters on the Farm, right? So you have to decipher for yourself what is truth and what is fiction. But I can tell you when Jessica was talking about all these things, it really was in line. It really was in line with what we found when we went and continue to go to Rogersville and Kingsport, and I truly believe for whatever reason, summer's near. I don't think she's too far away. I just don't. I thought she was on the property, but I keep trying to think, behavior. What is the behavior of Candus, Don, and Grandis? And it makes me wonder, would they have risked her being on that property for that search? And I just don't think they would. So I keep trying to get into their minds and figuring out how they would think and what they would do, and trying to put myself there in that moment. And it's hard. It's hard. And I just don't, I really don't know. I really just don't know. Is she on that property? Is she not? I can tell you, however, the further away from that property I go, the further away from Summer I feel. And that's the only thing I can tell you. It's just that simple. And, there is that part where Ernie is saying that, every time he was around Candus, she wants to go fishing. She wants to go fishing. She wants to go fishing. Is that a telltale sign? Does she have grief for what she did? Does she have grief that she failed to give her daughter medical attention? Because she has not shown any emotion except when it comes to her. When she was on Ernie's channel and she realized it was getting real for her, she cried. When she was on the Dr. Phil show and she realized it was getting real for her, she cried. When it comes to Summer, we see no emotion, no tears. And it makes me just wonder why. Hey, Care Bear, hope everything's well with you. It makes me wonder why. That's interesting, Team Rose. I don't know. How many victims do they have? I mean, they are very violent people. That is what people do not understand and refuse to acknowledge. Don Wells and Candus are both very violent people. This facade that they show on YouTube is not who they truly are. These are violent people. When your neighbors won't even walk down the road without a side piece because of you and your wife, that's pretty violent. And these stupid people out here in YouTube world that don't do their due diligence and want to believe this asshole over here that's not even making sense, or this jerk off over here that's not making sense, and the people that are going out there and doing the due diligence and bringing the information. Now remember, we did show receipts, right? I didn't ask you to trust me. We brought you his criminal record. We brought you the incident cards. We brought you the audio from the dispatch. We brought that to you. We showed you the violence. We didn't expect you to trust us. And these other people can't prove that these people were great people, but they try to convince you they are. We brought the receipts. You can't dispute that. And they want to say, where's the proof? Where's the evidence? I don't know what they're looking at. We have proof. How many times JLR went all over the United States of America pulling record requests for Don Wells, and we found out that Don Wells has been charged with violent crimes since the 1980s. He's had 40 years of criminal conduct across multiple states. thank you, JLR, for exposing that. That's fact. And guess what? He showed receipts. Prove to me that these people are good, upstanding people. Show me the receipts. Prove to me that these people don't deserve to be in jail. Show me the receipts. You can't. All right, guys. Long criminal history. These people are violent. They are very, very violent. So I hope you guys go over to Crime, Crazy, and Critters on the Farm and listen to the last two videos that she did. I think they're personally enlightening. I am going to be watching the second one now. That's this one is Grandma Playing Games. I don't know if she's playing games. I haven't heard this segment. It's almost 4 hours long. Many of you know. It's hard to carve out 4 hours of your day to listen to this, especially when the next, YouTuber has another 2 hours on their live and all this other stuff. So anyways, guys, God bless each and every one of you. Go make it a great Monday. And please don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. And if you are feeling like donating to this channel or supporting this channel with monetarily, there are several ways you can do that. You can do that by joining as a member, which the Join Me button is in the description of this chat, this description of this channel right now for this program. I make sure that maybe it's not, but it is. I did put it in somewhere. Actually, Anissa, I need to send the link URL to you because people with Apple phones need to have that URL. They don't have Join Me buttons when they go to the channel. So we need to have that URL for the people that are on Apple phones. So you can join as a member. You can go over to the Bullhorn Betty Teespring store and purchase, some swag. You can purchase the Coffee Club items, or my regular Bullhorn items, or the Clout Chaser items. You can donate here to Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Or you can go to our Amazon wish list, which we have, things that we're still trying to purchase for our team. Those are team items that we are purchasing for our upcoming trips and upcoming adventures. As you guys know, we've taken a cooling down period as we watch summer wells wind down. We are having a trip to Michigan in May, and we have a trip to Tennessee, Rogersville in June for the milestone of summer missing for 1 year. And we are going to be doing a lot of different things. We are going to be rolling out members only videos. You basically, I guess everybody can see them, but only members can have the open discussion. So if you guys would love to become a member of this channel, please do so you are not left out in the dark when we go do these member only videos and have discussions about cases and how we're going to be moving this channel forward, because the people that are supporting this channel monetarily are basically the shareholders of this channel, and I'd like to get their input on the direction of this channel and the certain cases that we need to be running and airing on this channel as well. We want to make sure that that's left in the hands of the people that are supporting this channel and not to the haters or the trolls. So with that being said, I love each and every one of you. God bless. Go rock your Monday out and be fearless, folks. Love you and God bless.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.